I have this 2-pack of solar streetlights I wanted to show you. These are Lovus solar streetlights. They're high-powered LED lights that have solar panels on top of them with a built-in battery that allows you to, of course, power them by the sun and then have a very bright light at night. They have motion detection and they have low and high power settings. So let's take these things out of the box and check them out. All right, so I've got them out of the box and they are cooler than I even expected. So this was a 2-pack. So what I did is I laid one direction, one the other, so that way you could see both sides. This is the light side that you would see from the bottom or underneath. It has an on and off switch here and a sensor for your day, night, things, all that settings. Then this is the solar panel side. That's of course going to be facing the sun to charge these during the day. It does come with 2 mounting brackets. You can mount them many different ways. So this is going to work out great. It comes with all the mounting hardware and everything you need. It even comes with a quick user manual that goes over how to mount them and how to use them. Here's a little close-up of the user manual. Shows you how you can mount them, what the controls on the remote do. Basically, they hang out at 30%. And when they detect motion, they'll kick up to 100%. And then after a little bit of time, they'll go back down to 30%. That conserves battery and lets you get more light for longer. And each light has their own remote control. So how cool is that? You can come in here, you can set them brighter, darker, you can set auto on and off. There's all kinds of settings. I'm excited to get these things mounted. All right, so now I'm out at the land. There are so many awesome places that I can hang these lights, that I've been wanting to put some lights, but really where I want to put these solar lights is right here on these 2 poles. So we have this sun sail, and we do stay out here some nights pretty late fishing, especially if we've got people over, and we'll have a lantern or something like that, but really there's no electricity down here. We could use some good solar lights out here. So I'm going to put 1 solar light on this pole and 1 solar light on that pole. That way they can get a good amount of sun exposure, and then when the nighttime comes or when it starts getting dark, they'll click on, they'll give us the appropriate amount of light that we need down here. So I'm gonna go ahead and start hanging these lights and let you see how that looks. So these are the 2 posts, again, that came with it, and those are the other type of mounting brackets there that you can put on the back of here to go around a pole or a post or anything like that. But each of those mounting posts right there come with a bag. Now this is 1 bag, so this is for 1 post, but they were very thoughtful in putting this in here because they gave you these anchor bolts, one, if you were going to anchor it into something. And not only did they give you anchor bolts, but they also gave you just regular bolts to bolt it around a pole or something like that. But they also gave you 1 extra. So you only need 4. And here's the 5th one. And then they gave you 4 of these, and they even gave you another set to spare. So if anything happens to one of the bolts, you have a spare of both kinds. So I like seeing that when they put that in a kit because, you know, not everything is perfect, and that's pretty thoughtful for the person that needs to install this to have an extra just in case. All right, so as you can see here, I've got this post, the mounting post tightened down on this post. And you can see here, I tightened it down probably more than I needed to, but I really wanted it snug down since we get a lot of wind out here. Again, it comes with all the hardware you need to mount these on a pole, or even if you were going to mount them flush against a building. So there's a metal bracket right here that's underneath these bolts. You take these bolts off and this metal bracket comes off. You flip it over and then it lets you mount this to that pipe. And now you have this metal plate. So the pole goes right here, you mount the pole there, and then these go around it like this. And then you screw these back in and that tightens around the pole and holds it up in the air. Here's a helpful tip too. When you're going to hang these on that post, get this bracket, take all 4 of these bolts out, flip the bracket over so that way it's, you know, can hold the post like this, and then put the bolts back in, you know, just enough to where when you can feel them coming through the nut on the other side so that they're grabbing. But that way when you go to put this on that pole, you can slip it over the pole, and even though it's not tight, this whole light will hold itself on that pole. Then you can come back and tighten these in. All right, so that mounted up there really well. So there is the mounting pole connected to the pole for our sun sail. And there's the solar panel on top, soaking up the sun and just charging that thing up right now. And then underneath, of course, there's the lights. So I'll test those when they start getting darker. But right now I'm just going to let it soak up the sun and charge since they've been pretty much sitting in a box. These are Allen key heads, so you just screw these in. There's built-in nuts on the bottom of this, so it actually just connects right to the base of this. And these tighten down really nice and tight. And that's it. There's this one here installed. Check that out. It's like I said, it's just sitting there soaking up the sun right now. Very cool. I'm excited to see these at night. And then the other one right up here. All right, so as you can see here, it's starting to get dark and the lights have already kicked on. They're in the dusk to dawn setting. So they are at their 30% right now. I could go walk underneath them and they would switch up to 100%, but I want to use the remote to check out some of the different settings. So with the remote, you're supposed to be able to make them brighter and darker by clicking some of the buttons. So if you see there, it looks like it's set to bright, 100%. So on the remote, you can see you got 3 hours, 5 hours, and 8 hours. And then these different settings will increase or decrease how bright they are. Of course, this is on and off. You could just turn them off. The auto switch is so that you can do auto on and off with dusk to dawn. And I believe the plus and minus doesn't do anything, and I think the red button doesn't do anything. It actually says all the information about the remote in the little pamphlet that comes with the lights. But I'm going to set this back to dusk to dawn because I can see this light's still at 100%. Okay, so that's supposed to be back to the auto setting. And as you can see, it's not even completely dark yet. And they still light up the area pretty good. All right, so it's getting dark. This is the 30% brightness. So by default, they go into 30% brightness. And then when you get close enough and they detect motion, then they go to 100% brightness. So I'm gonna walk up behind it and just get one of the lights to go to 100% brightness. Okay, so if you can see this now, the back light is at 100% brightness and the front light is at 30% brightness. See how it just went down to 30% once it detects movement. Now I was a little worried that maybe it would pick up the dock moving or the bugs flying around lights, but so far that doesn't seem to be an issue. I think it detects large movement and that's it. I don't think the sun cell is triggering it either. So I think it's pretty good with the sensor. You know, you get up basically close to where the radius of the light is, and that's basically what's going to trigger the lights to go 100% brightness. Of course, with the remote, you can set it in many different modes, but right now they're just in dusk to dawn and then 30% to 100% when it detects motion. These are going to be really nice out here. Very happy to have them installed here. This is what they look like from the dock. Again, that's at 30%. I'm not close enough for them to detect motion. I think it's awesome. I'm very happy with the amount of light they're putting out. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with these lights. I think they're going to do exactly what I need them to do. If this video was helpful, will you please give it a thumbs up? Also, if you haven't done so already, if you would subscribe to the channel, that really helps me out. Thank you for watching. Y'all stay safe out there. Bye now.